Alright, welcome back to the channel everyone, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. You're watching Bike with Akiva. I'm Akiva, and today we are talking about RuntZ and test ride we had and the pedal failure that we had. Usually I film these after the ride vlog episodes in the bike lab, but it's really nice out today, so decided maybe I could do this and ride. It's also good practice. Talk. As you guys know, I've been trying to put in the effort to talk more on the trail. Here we are. In case you didn't know, we're at the PSG today. Just a few laps. As I said, as I discussed, everything that went right and everything that went wrong with the RuntZ. Okay. So, we took RuntZ apart. We needed room, we needed parts. So RuntZ was looking real sick this ride season. Barely got any ride time. Maybe earlier in the season when she was a 29er, full 29er, but that didn't last too long. We put a lot of time and effort into Forbidden Fruits, so RuntZ just kind of fell behind and everything. All right. How's it going? Hey, bud. Local trails, RuntZ. So we started putting her back together with all the spare parts we had around the bike lab. All these parts have almost 1,000 miles on it. That's why I wanted to do a test run. Make sure everything was working properly before I, venture out more, do more miles here and get stuck. Our first day of testing led to a pump track. And I've never been to a pump track before. That was my first time. And I have to say, it was really enjoyable. Tiring. Yeah, a little frustrating. Couldn't figure out exactly where to pump. You know what I mean? Like, I would start out really strong in the beginning, and then halfway through the run, tire out. I need more work, but the bike did great. I even handed her off to Rich, so he can get some laps in. I mean, he brought it after the pump track. Just biked around a couple of miles around town. Bike did great. Since I was building a RuntZ up for my local trails, I fed her with a 2.6 inch 27.5 tires in the front and rear. The test had an aggressor, but I was gonna switch that out. Shortly after the ride, I say I fitted with 2.6 tires front and rear. My local trails are not that steep, so we had 160 rotors front and rear, complete budget build too. The Shimano stock rim, the Schwinn stock rim that came with the bike, with a buckless rear. Advan X 9-speed KMC chain, 34 oval JG bike chain ring, Crank Brother pedals. Oh, Rock Bros. One of the two. Look at Crank Bros. IFX crank arms, 175 I believe. That's your standard ones you can get off of Amazon. Race Face 760 handlebars paired with a buckless, or not buckless, Zoom front brake and a Shimano MT200 rear brake, both 2-piston, and a Trans X dropper post. So all of those components made up RuntZ. And once I did a final bolt check, I took her out to the pump track, like I mentioned. And day 2 is I took it here to the PSG. Whew. And that's where we ran into our first issue. As we were coming down here and on RuntZ, came down right here and took the little drop. Everything was fine, but as we started making our descent right around here, I started feeling the pedal bob and move. Which at first I didn't really think too much of, you know, figured maybe it just be loose and check it out afterwards, but it wasn't too noticeable. It wasn't to the, I want to say the climb up this trail is where I noticed that something was wrong. Or something where the pedal started coming loose, and I noticed that it wasn't just me, it was the pedal being loose. So I tightened the pedal up with my hand and it seemed to do the job. At least enough that I felt comfortable enough to go up again and try that drop again, which I'm going to do right now. So after I tighten the drive side pedal down with my hand, I figured it'd be okay to take it down. And after we took that drop right there, I noticed the pedal was wobbling. Super real noticeable now. After pulling over and checking out, we saw the, I don't know, aluminum shavings, metal shavings all over the back of the pedal. That's when I realized I stripped it out. It held until we got, it held actually all the way back to the bike lab. Once we took the pedal out, cleaned it, there's the threads in the middle completely gone. And later on we noticed that the rear tire was flat the next day. So we had a couple of boo-boos on RuntZ. Since this recording, we fixed the rear tire. Just put another tube in there and adjust the seat. Waiting on a temporary fix. See how that works. It might become the permanent fix. Keep you posted on that. Alright guys, thanks for coming along with me on this after the rides maintenance vlog video. If you're liking this type of content and all my other content, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.